All right. Radio check. Radio check. Mic check. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, how'd you guys enjoy dinner? Thank you guys for bringing, what you guys brought. Very fulfilling, tasty. Man, it was a treat for sure. Anybody have anything new come up this week? Anything you want to talk about, share, discuss? Cricket. Yes, no.
Y'all graduate.
Dead look. Everybody tired? Does everybody need to stand up and do some jumping jacks? Huh?
Okay.
All right. Let's get a head count. Nice and loud. Starting with 1.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6,
8, 9.
All right. Everybody's alive and they can talk. All right. I'm not getting a response from you guys. I need you guys to use your voices. All right. I'm not playing dead looks, bro. We've been alive. Right? Everybody's happy? Disgruntled? All right. I'm going to have to edit this out. So, who remembers what we talked about at the table?
Be yourself.
Hmm?
Be yourself.
Tonight. Huh?
Be yourself.
Be yourself. Why?
just at the table today.
Oh boy.
You didn't say white.
You were talking about, I know we were talking about homeless.
Today then?
We're talking about homeless people and then
The homeless guy with the one hand?
two
Oh, with
fingers.
the 2 claws?
Okay.
No,
But what was the reason?
Prior to
What was the
that, he
purpose
saying
about that?
To be somebody's
to be
listener.
Somebody's listener.
Yeah, sometimes we just need to be there for somebody to listen, right? Because sometimes people just got some stuff that they're holding in, you know what I mean? And they've never been able to express themselves or be able to open up to anybody because there's nobody that's willing to listen to what they got to say. Whether because they look crazy, maybe because they're homeless, maybe because, whatever the circumstance, a lot of people aren't able to get stuff off their chest, right? And it's hard for people to open up sometimes, But if you become that person, you know what I mean? Then that they can confide in, that also has an open door for you guys to share the word of the gospel, right? So we talked about 3 different topics today at the table, but it's cool. I know you guys are full and you just got done with praise and worship. You guys sang your hearts out. You lost your voice like me. Lies. But all right. Anywho, so we're gonna talk about character, right? Who we are, who we should be in the Most High, right? And bring up some topics about what we're supposed to be doing, okay? Because we can't just come to service and listen, right? You have to come to service, listen, and then apply what you heard in service to your life, your everyday life. This isn't, I'm not up here for fun, all right? I'm up here because the Most High has commanded us to be stewards of His Word, and I'm here to share the gospel with you, right? It's cool, we have a good time, we sing praise and worship, we talk, we discuss and everything, but at the end of the day, there's a job that needs to be done out there, okay? We all are safe and comfortable in here, but how are we out there, right? Yeah, we can open up, we can talk in here, but can we do the same out there, right? Nah, a lot of us aren't at that level yet, right? But it's important that we do get to that level. For the younger guys that are about to graduate, you know what I mean? Hats off to you guys, good job. You know what I mean? You guys have a whole nother world coming, right? Because you guys are going to have to learn how to work, work ethics and whatnot. You're going to have to listen not just to your parents, but now you got to listen to a boss or anybody that's superior to you, right? We all got to submit to some chain of command, right? Ultimately, our main chain of command is the Father and His laws and bylaws, right? His statutes, His commandments, His judgments, His ways. That's what we ultimately got to submit to. But you guys going into the work field, still have your manager and everybody else, right? Then you got to deal with your parents. And so, you're going to be taking orders from 2 different people, right? And you're probably going to get fed up and like, man, I'm tired of this, right? But it's all right. You know what I mean? We all have to grow. And I encourage my kids to stay home continue to do good, save up some money, you're still gonna have to abide by my rules, right? Vincent, you know I'm more lenient with you, right? Because you've been doing good, and I ain't even gotta worry about you. But for the other guys that are coming up in age, you know what I'm saying? You just do right, you keep my word, and we're good, right? I'll be a little more lenient with you when you get to your senior year or when you turn 18, right? Excuse me, guys. So what's the proper date according to the Bible for adulthood? 20. And we read that with Teacher Simon, right? Mm-hmm. He explained and broke it down according to the scripture, right? Now the U.S. says, what's the age of an adulthood? 18. If you're an adult at 18, you get charged as an adult. You have to go to war as an adult at 18, but you can't buy cigarettes till you're what? 21. You can't buy beer till you're what? 20. You know what I'm saying? What is it for 25?
Fully licensed or insurance.
There's a lot of other things too, right?
A car.
But see,
car, you have to be 25.
yeah. So,
25.
you know,
Well, that's
again,
military.
yeah, it's a lot of numbers that we got to follow, right? And only certain things we can do after a certain age. But according to the Word of God, the Word of Yah, His commandments come first above all things. And what He says is Bible, literally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so this is what we got to apply to our lives, all right? Let's not get caught up in what the world says is right. Let's get caught up in what the Most High says is right. So right now we're going to read Jeremiah 51. All right, let me get a volunteer to read. Oh, awesome. Yeah, come up here. You're going to be nice and slow. I already got it open. Nice and slow. Not fast. So Josh has volunteered to read. Yes, sir.
Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon
Slow it down.
and against them
Nice
that
and
dwell
loud.
in the midst of them that rise up against me, and a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his.
I got it. Go ahead, sit down. Verse 3, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up and his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. So everything that is within her, destroy it. All your arrows, everything, destroy everybody, right? Against him that bendeth, okay, verse 4. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his Yah, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against Holy One of Israel. Even though there was a promise put on Yah's people, but even though there was sin. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. It says flee Babylon, right? What is flee? Leave.
Escape.
Okay,
Escape.
that means like quickly, right? Like it's like you're getting yourself and you're like running. Flee. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his deliver every man
His soul.
Be not cut off in her iniquity. Don't get stuck and caught up in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's
Vengeance.
What is vengeance? So the Most High is going to come, right? And He's going to wreak vengeance on Babylon, meaning destroy it. So don't get caught up. Don't get stuck. What was an example of somebody getting stuck? Lot's wife, right? Because he was like, hey, leave Babylon. I mean, leave Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Because I'm going to destroy the city. And she looked back because she was caught up in the things that it had to offer. And she turned to pillar of what? He will render unto her recompense. He's going to repay Babylon what it gave out, what it dished out. So if Babylon ever dished out poison, disease to its people, Most High is coming with vengeance, and he's going to repay. If Babylon came and made usury of the people, and let's say overtaxed people and overdid all these things to the people, and took away stuff, you know what I mean, outside of the ways of the Most High, guess what? It will also get paid back. If they went and robbed other nations and other things like that, guess what? Recompense. He's going to pay it back with vengeance. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, and that made all the earth drunken. So Babylon made all the world drunk. We see America, other nations want to be like America and come to America because everything that America has to offer. So we can see Babylon in the same sense, right? Just kind of like think about it, okay? The money, the power, the technology, the military, everything. All eyes are on America and all eyes are against America, right? Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that hath made all earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, thereof the nations are. Babylon is suddenly fallen, and howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone unto his own country. Go to your own country. For her judgment reacheth unto
Heaven.
and is lifted up even to the
Skies.
The Lord hath brought forth our
Righteousness.
come, and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our Yah. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against
Babylon.
to
Destroy it.
because it is vengeance of the
Lord.
Most High, the vengeance of his temple. So we see throughout this nation of the U.S. that they have used the word and perversed it, claiming to be of the Most High, but are not, right? They've used the word of God to manipulate people's minds, you know what I mean? Because now the government with 501c3s have infiltrated the churches and say you can and cannot say certain things. They say homosexuality, this and that. Everything that the Bible's against, churches have now put a veil over churches, right? The people that are in power, ministers and whatnot, have put a veil over churches and allowed other things to be mentioned or backed off from certain topics because of what the government has said, right? Because they're trying to appease the government that's giving them these benefits, right? Not all churches, but a lot of churches nationwide in the U.S., Babylon. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Most High hath both devised and done that which spake against the inhabitants of America. Of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, in the measure of thy covetousness. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men, and with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. He hath made the earth by his power, and hath established the world by his
Wisdom.
and hath stretched out the heaven by his
Understanding.
When he uttereth his voice, there is multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. Every man is brutish by his. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. What's a example of a graven image? Pictures, right? Crosses, doves, like symbolisms that try to represent God, right? These are all graven images, whether you're claiming to be a believer or not. We shouldn't have any of them according to the commandments of the Most High, A lot of churches nationwide have them. Most of them, not all of them, most of them have them. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, the work of errors. In the time of their visitation they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod in his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his. Thou art. Hold on. Are you able to read? Can you read?
I read.
Yeah, somebody. Can come up here and read. Can you read some water, please? Sorry, man. I was singing nice and loud during praise and worship, and these right here are kind of. This is just this right here. Nice and slow, right? The first word, the first line. Nice and slow and loud.
Thou art my battle axe and
Nice and loud.
and weapons.
No, start over.
Thou art my battle axe and weapon of war.
Weapons of war. All right, go ahead.
Oh,
Say,
weapons.
have a seat. Thanks, man. He said, "Thou art my battle axe, weapons of war." He said, "You're my battle axe, my weapons of war." Who is he talking to? He's talking to you. You're his battle weapon. You're his battle axe, his weapon of war. You are. How so? Remember, at the table we're talking about different things, right? We are sent by the Most High, and so we got to be living examples of the Most High, right? And so when people see us, they should see who? They should see Yah. They should see Him, because our actions, the things that we do, and how we carry ourselves, right? Where we at? 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee I will break into pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. With you he can destroy kingdoms. You think you don't matter? You matter a lot. And with thee I will break in pieces the horse and his rider. And with thee I will break in pieces
the chariot and his rider.
the chariot and his rider. With you also I will break in pieces
Man and woman.
And with you I will break in pieces old and
Young.
And with you
I will break in pieces
will I break in pieces
the young man and the maid.
the young man and his maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and the flock. Why so? Why the shepherd and the flock? Because none of them are being obedient to his word. A lot of them have been drunken by the wine that Babylon has produced, that America has produced, by the ways of this land, because they're trying to put man in place of God, right? And they're trying to take God out of everything, even though God is the ultimate creator. He just said he created the heavens and the earth, right? And yet, they're still trying to take, even though it's written, they still trying to do what is written in error. But guess what? You're his battle axe. You and all of you are his battle axe, and even you. Keep his word, keep his way, keep his command. Let the Most High be able to use you, because he needs to use you. He wants to use you. Keep being an example in these streets. I will also break into pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock. Why? Because there's a lot of churches out here that are shepherds, and the flock is the congregation, right? And so they're misleading the congregation, having them that they believe in, that they're following the ways of the Most High. In fact, they're in error, and if the blind lead the blind, they what? They both fall into the ditch. So there's going to be a lot of people that claim to know the Father, but that are going to perish in hell because they don't keep his commandment. You're his battle axe. And with thee I will break into pieces the husband and his yoke of oxen. And with thee I will break in pieces who? Captains and rulers. And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of the Chaldee all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight. Saith who?
The Lord.
Who?
The Lord.
Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Most High, which destroyeth all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand
Upon thee
and roll thee down
from the rocks.
and will
Burn
make thee a burnt mountain, and they shall not take thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for the foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever. Saith who?
The Lord.
Who?
The Lord.
All right. What did the Most High say? What did he call you? What did the Most High call you? He called you a battle axe. You guys are the soldiers that the Most High is looking for. You guys are the pillars, the ones that should be standing in the gap for the lost, the ones that should be out there in the streets, listening and talking and uplifting those, right, that are brokenhearted, those that are broken, and those that are in need of a Savior. We are the pillars. We are the battle axes, right? Most High is using us to do His will. Or is He? Are we keeping His commandments? Are you seeing this? Are you seeing what we're reading here? Right? Because clearly, what He's depicting with Babylon is actually the nation that we stay in. Right? And what He's depicting as a battle axe is actually you being used as a tool to spread His message, the word of the Most High, to other people, to all nations, before the destruction of, or in this case, that's right. So will you be a tool used? Can the Most High call upon you to be His battle axe? Or are you going to defer and say, oh, it's not for me? Oh, but I have my goals. I have my agendas. There's things that I want to do. So God, you can come second as long as I get to do what I want to do. Or are we going to put the Most High first and do His will?
First.
Are we? Let's do it then, right? Because there's a lot of lost people out here in this earth, right? Down the street, across the street, on our own block, that have no idea who the Most High is. They're stuck in this, what's that called on the Matrix? Huh?
Is that dimension? Alternate?
It's called the Matrix. They're stuck in the Matrix, living day to day, doing the same routine, thinking what they're doing is right, and this is how it should be. It's up to you to be that battle axe and destroy that and open their mind to what's really going on in this nation. See how they're poisoning the people, right? With certain things. Cobra bites on the shoulder, right? That's a figure of speech for something else, right? Saying, okay, fact checkers. Bro, you think every single thing that's been fact checked is actually false information? Nah, they're just censoring the truth, right? Because they don't want the truth to get out. Because when the truth gets out, what happens? We don't comply. We're not stuck in the matrix and saying, okay, this is this, and everything is perfect and right. Because why? The government wants control. Why do you think they're doing away with money? They want to be a cashless society, right? Yeah. Because then if everything's digitized as far as your dollar, then they could track where every dollar went, right? And let's say everybody has a number, right? Your social security is a number. That your bank account will be linked to your social security. So this person has this much money, and they purchase this car, they purchase this towel, they purchase this frisbee. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you purchase, guess what? They can trace it back and figure out what you bought, right? This nation is going far away from being a free and sovereign nation. Why?
We're getting closer to the end.
Huh?
We're getting closer to the end.
It's close to the end time. But you see how easily the system has been infiltrated by the Democrats, right? And I'm not Democratic, neither am I Republican, right? I'm for the ways of the Most High, but we know that those people are destroying the nation by offering all these resources and things. Supposedly they're voted in, and supposedly the ballots and all that stuff is. But for me, honestly, if you don't see what's going on in this world and the hands that are in play as far as the puppet masters and whatnot, you're gonna miss it all. You guys are stuck in the matrix. We gotta take off our blinders and see what's going on, because there's some battle axes that need to be made today, and you are it. You guys gotta put on the armor of God and put on His mind and become His battle axe and realize the truth, what's going on. It's up to you guys to help get these people saved. You guys are the answer to the problem. Where there's a problem, there's what?
Solution.
And you're the solution. All of you. All of you are the solution. So you can either choose to be the solution or choose to be a problem. Right? Either way, the Most High is going to have His way. And you're going to be either on His side or not on his side, which is gonna be very bad for you, because he said, "Hey, you're gonna be broken to pieces," right? So we can talk about a lot of the stuff going on off screen, right? Because there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's not my propaganda, but it's just factual stuff that is going on. All right. Now, I for one, at one point the U.S. was great, right? But because money has tainted our leaders, right? And propaganda has tainted our leaders, right? We are now like living in a nation that is no longer free. Inflation is real, right? Everything that we're suffering. You could work 2 jobs and still be, you know what I'm saying? Suffering, paycheck to paycheck. Working 3 jobs, still living paycheck to paycheck because you can't afford rent, you can barely afford food. And if you got kids, oh boy, you know what I'm saying? Sooner or later, we're all gonna be homeless. So you either own your land or you don't, right? There's plans and programs and other things like that, but you're gonna be needing the help up, right? But then when that comes into play, now you're dependent on a program or organization, usually run by the state. You know what I'm saying? Now they get to put their 2 cents in it, which you can and cannot do in your home. They're already taking the rights away from parents. There's a lot of stuff going on. If you guys want to, we'll discuss after this word. But listen, guys, you guys are the battle axe, okay? And these people have these walls up because they can't trust people out here, because they're either going to be laughed at, mocked, right? And I'm talking about your peers, your friends at school. Man, I can't wear certain things at school because they're going to laugh at me or this and that, right? Or they're going to clown me or whatever, right? And it's like, what if they're poor, right? You don't know they're poor because they put up this wall and they put up this front like they're not, right? But at the same time, what if they are? And you're capping on them? Or, no, not capping. What do you guys call it? You're hating on them. You're clowning on them. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that they're burning and hurting inside, right? That you're just helping them to be destroyed and belittling them without even knowing because of the words that you speak. And you're unknown, right? Stand in the gap and be righteous, right? And when people do stuff like that to others, you be the battle axe and be like, hey man, stop talking about that dude. How about you, bro? You think you're better than everybody? What's up? I mean, we could put the gloves on. You know what I'm saying? You're the battle axe. Who's going to stand in the gap for the weak? Who's going to stand in... Girl got raped. Who's going to stand in the gap for her? Because she what? Schizo? Right? I'm not listing no names because of HIPAA. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to stand in the gap for those that are not mentally there? Mentally challenged. Right? The women that are getting raped. For the children that are getting beat and used for financial gain. Who's going to stand in the gap for those that are being sold into sex trafficking, that are forced to do drugs, right? Who's going to stand in the gap for them wives that are being beat? Who's going to stand in the gap for them? I will. You show me a chump, I'm going to show a chump what's up. You know what I'm saying? Because why? I'm a battle axe, right? And I'm not going to take it. Are you going to take it? You going to let stuff slide? You going to think it's okay? The more that you think it's okay for things to slide like that, soon it becomes you. What will you take a stance for? Who's going to take a stance for the Most High in His ways? I will. Right? And it's kind of scary though, because once you're placed in a certain position where now you have to take a stance, you're kind of shaky and you don't know if you're doing it right. And then the repercussion is dudes coming at you now, right? And all of a sudden you're face to face for something that had nothing to do with you, right? But think about Yeshua, or what you call Jesus, right? Think about Jesus, Yeshua, what he had to go through. He had his life taken for stuff he didn't even do. But yet he stood in the gap for all of you to have the chance to make it in, right? We got to be living sacrifices, right? And yes, use wisdom. If you can defeat something, like Game of Chess, if you can defeat something or somebody by, you know what I'm saying, you ain't even got to be face to face, but you can orchestrate certain things that happen where, okay, cool, now you caught up. And you just got yourself in trouble because of your temper, right? Because the dude's beating on his wife, or dude's over there, or female, or whoever, you know what I mean, beating on her husband, whatever the case, right? Because that happens too. I know that. You know what I mean? Somebody getting raped, pushed into sex trafficking, and you know something, set it up to where they get caught up, right? You ain't got to be the face of the fight, right? But you do got to be a battle axe, right? Because we have to stand on righteousness, right? Because we're going to be judged for all things that we do and do not do. For him that knoweth to doeth good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. If you know to do something good, but you don't do it, that's sin. And you failed. But if you know you should be doing something, even though you're afraid, and you do it, that's strength. Right? That's righteousness. There's times that I had to speak up. And yeah, maybe like with the boss or something like that, and it's like they're just a man, but at the same time I could lose my job, and it's like, man, like, how do I come at this person to try to bring correction, right? And so I might say something, maybe with a shaky voice, or with, hey, check it out, this is all wrong, and this and that, right? When I was younger, when I wasn't as strong in faith, but I still said it, right? Maybe my voice was a little weak, and you know what I mean, I was kind of nervous and sweating a little bit, but I still did it, right? Even with your voice trembling, do the right thing. Because one day, something's going to happen, and you don't stand up to do the right thing, and something bad happens to somebody where you could have stood in the gap, and everybody would have been fine, but you didn't because you were too much of a coward. That person and then what? You're going to live with that guilt for the rest of your life. If you know to do good and you don't do it, it's sin to you. So if you know to do something good and you're afraid to do it anyway, right? Or seek help. Like, hey, man, I'm in this situation, right? And I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of scared. Honestly, what do you think I should do? Right? Seek counsel. If you don't know what the right choice to make is, seek counsel, right? And I'm not the smartest guy, but I sure will try to help somebody in a situation if they ever came to me with the best, you know what I'm saying, righteous judgment that I can make, the best decision making I could do, you know what I mean? But I love a person that's willing to stand on righteousness. These are the people that I want to call friend, right? These are the people that I want to call brother. So, if you're listening and you're watching and you want to be that battle axe for the Most High, I'm here for you, all right? And I hope everybody in this room and everybody that's watching does want to be a battle axe. And let's get to work. All right? All right, so we read Jeremiah 51. We got into the battle axing and what's going down. Thank you for watching. True Hebrews United. Of the Lord Yeshua. Have a good night.